Hey everyone, Theo here. This video is for those who are thinking of getting the iPad Air 5 2022 for taking notes. And I want to talk very briefly about this tablet first. This base model comes with 64 gigs of storage, and out of that, 13 gigs are used up by iPad OS and the system files, so you are left with only 51 gigs of storage. Most of the note-taking apps actually store the notes onto the cloud storage, so you don't really have to worry too much about running out of space when it comes to taking notes. You just have to worry about the other apps that you need and how big are the file sizes you are going to create. So 64 gigabytes of storage for school and educational users, I believe is sufficient. Anyway, if you feel like it's not enough, you may have to upgrade to the model with 256 gigs of storage. If you really want to upgrade the storage, I highly recommend you check out the Refurbished section on Apple's website. Look specifically for the 11-inch iPad Pro from 2020. It's the one with the square camera module. That tablet to me is a better deal compared to the iPad Air 5, especially if your main purpose for the tablet is just for note-taking. And you can find the Refurbished section on Apple's website at this link right at the bottom of the page. I've actually made note-taking videos for the previous iPad Airs as well. So the handwriting and note-taking performance that you can get with this tablet is going to be excellent, just like the previous models. The tablet and the pen can capture my handwriting style quite accurately. There is default palm rejection provided by Apple Pencil and it works quite well. However, this app that I'm using does not have the palm rejection feature, so if I were to write or draw with my finger, you can see it would introduce a stroke there, and if I place my palm on the display, it may introduce stray strokes. This app is Concepts and it has the palm rejection feature, so you can configure the app to accept only pen input, so when you use your finger to write or draw, nothing happens. In this case, it actually just moves the canvas around. This app is actually a drawing app, but it can be used for taking notes as well. In this case, maybe for creative note taking. The display has a refresh rate of 60 Hz, so there is some latency as the line is trying to catch up with the pen tip. However, I don't see it affect my writing. Apple Pencil supports tilt and pressure sensitivity, so when you're writing, you can create thin and thick lines depending on how much pressure you apply to the pen. Display of the iPad Air 5 is laminated, so when writing or drawing, there is no gap between the line and the pen tip. I highly recommend you check out this app Concepts. If you don't know that it exists, I really like this app. There is a huge variety of note-taking apps available from the Apple App Store, so I'm sure you will be able to find one that works for you. And this app that I'm using is Microsoft OneNote, which also features palm rejection. Apple Pencil 2 has some shortcuts, and the shortcuts may vary depending on the app you're using. So for example, with Microsoft OneNote, when I double tap on the Apple Pencil, it goes into the eraser mode and I can erase. And when I double tap again, it goes back to the pen mode and now I can write. The tablet weighs 461 grams, which is quite portable, so I can hold this easily in one hand while taking notes. When you add a case to it, obviously it's going to be heavier. So the handwriting and note-taking performance of the iPad Air 5 will get an A+ from me, just like all the other iPad Air models before this. By the way, if you have not seen my artist review of the iPad Air 5, go watch it. The link is in the video description below. Alright, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye!